So this is Algebra 1, Semester 1. It's a unit called Systems, and it's the 4th unit. And it's a lesson called Graphing Linear Equations in Two Variables Practice. It's the 4th lesson within Systems unit. It's on creatormath.com under the Algebra 1 tab. You might have to Google creatormath.weebly.com to find it. The instructions are copy the following problems into your composition book on the correct pages according to the table of contents with the notes for those pages from creatormath.com. So just to show you quickly where the notes are. Let's go here. All right, here's the name of the website, creatormath.weebly.com. That's what you should Google. If you do, hopefully you can make it to this homepage. This is what the homepage looks like. If you have any questions on the composition book, which students are still asking questions all the way through the semester, and as rightly they should be, but all of the answers you can find here. You don't have to wait for me to tell it to you. You can just scroll down, find the words composition book, read everything they've got here, watch the videos, follow the due dates, put things where they belong, and put the notes on the correct pages, and you should have an 80, 92, 100% on your composition book. Now we're going to go to the tab of the class, or in this case the video we're making. Under the tab of the class, you will find at least 4 things, maybe 5. You'll find the page number that the notes are supposed to go on. You'll find the notes. You'll find the vocabulary. You'll find the video we're making right now and the problem set of practice problems, which we're going to work on right now also. Remember that if you're not getting 100% on your vocabulary practices, it's likely you may not know that there's a complete PDF of all the vocabulary words on the website. Just download this to your device. Google how do I search a PDF on whatever type of device you're using. Follow their directions because each device is different, a little bit different. Now find the semester that we're in for this particular lesson we're doing. So under this semester, make sure you're in the correct one. There's a table of contents. This is so important. I ask you to write it onto pages 2 through 6 of your composition book. Why? Because it has all of the page numbers of where everything goes the entire semester. And that's how I'm going to grade your comp book. I can't find it otherwise, right? So next we're going to find the unit that we're looking at for this video. So here we are in Systems. In Systems, this is the 4th lesson down. So these are each lessons. Here's the 4th lesson. It's called Graphing Linear Equations in Two Variables. The page numbers on which your notes go are here. Please don't take this video's word for it, but go back and find the original table of contents. At the time you're viewing this, these page numbers likely will have changed. So these are notes, the problem set we're going to do, and the video link should be here if everything goes well by the time you see this. So let's click Notes. It does take me a couple times to load it on occasion, but knock on wood, I haven't had to load it more than twice. So you're going to go ahead and put these in. This is talking about how to graph two slope-intercept equations on a single graph, otherwise known as a system, and talking about the intersection of those two graphs, which is called the solution. And on this one, they are trying to get us to look at actual graphs and then go ahead and use Desmos.com to confirm the exact location of those solutions. Okay, so make sure the vocabulary is in your comp book. And with that, let's go ahead and start to look at some of the problem sets. We'll talk more as we go. Since this is the 4th lesson, there's a lot of things you will probably already know about systems and the solution. But let's start at the beginning. It says, what's a system? A system is two equations or more graphed on the same graph, right? Algebra 1 will probably only deal with 2. But technically speaking, a system can be 2 or more. So what is the solution in a system? That is where the two equations cross or intersect, that is, have the same solution. So we're fascinated by that idea because the interaction of two graphs can tell us a lot of things about what's increasing or decreasing, and then where the two are equal is called the break-even point in a lot of situations. If you were to start a business and put $100 into the business, you don't break even until you hit $100. That means you've earned back all the money you spent. Now the next dollar you make, if it's 101, now you've made $1 profit, right? So that's akin to what we have in two equations and the solution being between them. Your background on this will help you when you get to discussions of two equations and two unknowns, all right? So first thing we're going to do, it says using Desmos.com, what is the solution to the two equations? So let's see if we can do that reasonably quickly. This is going to be a half x minus 3 I happen to have this in, and negative 2/3 x minus 9. I got this one in already. All right, I'll type the next one in and show you that. But if we click on the solution, it shows us it's negative 5.143 and negative 5.571. Negative 5.143 and negative 5.571. So here's the answer set here, right? And that's what we're trying to find out. That is the solution. That is where these two graphs cross, right? So let's go ahead and see what they ask us next. Oh, okay, so they just ask us to move on to this one. This one will be a little bit better because I'll type it in for you. All right, so that one was already into my calculator because we had used it prior. So 4/5 x minus 3. Let's put a 4/5 in here. Delete, 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 delete. 4 divided by 5 produces 4/5. Minus 3 is okay. And then negative 2/7. I'm just going to put a new denominator in of negative 2/7 x minus 9. So let's look at this solution. This is negative 5.526 right here and negative 7.421 right here. Just barely see that, all right? And that's all we're doing is practicing using Desmos and finding decimal intersections here, it looks like so far. So let's see what we got here. Negative 4, let's see, 4/5 x minus 3, that one's here, and negative 2/7 plus 5. So they're only changing a little bit of this, plus 5 here. Let's see where we intersect. We might have to hit the home key to find where that is. Good. Click it twice. It's 7.368 and 2.895. Okay, so, and we're just looking at the same graphic here to see that, look, there's no intersection of the grid here. We're not going to be at whole numbers or integer values for these solutions. All right, 1/5 x minus 3. One divided by 5x minus 3, that goes there, and negative 2/3 minus 1. Negative 2/3 x, negative 2/3 x minus 1, and 1/5 x minus 3. Click home. That shows us where the intersection is, 2.308 and negative 2.538. So it looks like just Desmos practice so far here, and just getting used to the idea that we could have a non-integer outcome. 2x minus 6. Oops. 2x minus 6. And this one is minus 2/3 x. Ah, nothing. Look at this. So just a minus 2/3 x. What's our intersection here? 2.25 and negative 1.5. So, look at this. See how my answers are different? See how I got 2.25 and negative 1.5? It's negative 2.25 I'm trying to match it up with. These others don't match at all. But I can start to look at this and go, uh-oh. Let me check my input. So y equals 2x plus 6 and negative 2/3. There we go. Let's try again. So negative 2.25 and 1.5. There we go. Okay, looks like one more. So this looks like 1/8 x plus 6. So it looks like we're just practicing our fractions in Desmos. That's okay. Negative 2/3 x plus 1. And hit home to find it. Pretty quick. Negative 6.316 and 5.211. All right. Well, I guess I got some practice in using my Desmos and finding decimal values rather than integer values. So make sure you're matching up the name of this video with the practice set you're on. Otherwise, it's not going to make much sense. This is Algebra 1, Semester 1. It's the 4th unit called Systems and the 4th lesson called Graphing Linear Equations in 2 Variables Practice. And it's on creatormath.com under the Algebra 1 tab. Hope this helps.